Hello, my name is Andrea, and this is my oral presentation on the book Of Mice and Men. Of Mice and Men was written by the author John Steinbeck and was first published in 1937. It is a novella, and this version here has 107 pages and is divided in 5 chapters. The book is about the two migrant workers, George Milton and Lenny Small, who moves from place to place in search of new job opportunities, and also in the search of achieving their impossible dream of owning their own farm one day. In this presentation, I want to talk about the main characters, George and Lenny, and also the themes I connect with this book. Throughout the presentation, I will come up with some examples of what I mean, so you can see where you can find it in the book also. I'm gonna start with the characters, the main characters. George. George's name is George Milton, and he's the leader of their two-man group. He's described as small and quick, which I define as small in size and quick up here. So he's smart, and he knows what to say and what to do, and when to say it and when to do it, that kind of way. Also, he's described as having restless, sharp eyes and strong features. He is very protective of Lenny. So if someone says something in a bad way to Lenny, he will immediately confront them. And that also proves that he has a short temper. He can very quickly go from here to up here in no time when it has something to do with Lenny. The reason why he's so protective of Lenny is because he promised Lenny's dead Aunt Clara that he would take care of him. And also one time he did a very bad thing towards Lenny that he regretted immediately after doing it. And after that he promised he would always take care of him and never do anything mean or bad to him again. He's described as a guy who keeps mostly to himself except for Lenny, and also he is a guy that tries to stay out of trouble. Lenny. Lenny's name is Lenny Small, which is very ironic because it's the opposite of what he is. He is described as a big man, very, very strong, and he has a shapeless face and large pale eyes. Also, he has these wide, sloppy shoulders, so he keeps his shoulder like hanging. So he goes like this, and they hang. Lenny is mentally challenged, many times called dumb. He acts like a child and also talks like a child. Example on page 43, where Slim, he actually says right out to George, he's like a child. He says, Slim had not moved. His calm eyes followed Lenny throughout out the door. Jesus, he said, he's just like a kid, ain't he? Yeah. Because of this mental challenge, he's also very sentimental. When he sees something he likes, he immediately goes over to touch it. Example in the book, there's a situation where he sees this dress on a girl he really likes it, and he just go over and touch it. But he doesn't understand that he cannot touch everything, so he keeps on touching it, and he doesn't know his strength, and then he panics because of the woman starts screaming, and then he accidentally actually rips it a little. He's described as a really good person. Nobody thinks he's mean because he doesn't have mean intentions with anything he does. And people they take care of him, kind of. They're really careful about what they say in front of him, and they they see that he's dumb, but they don't like mention it in front of him. They talk with George about it. Also, Lenny is very protective of George. If anybody wanted to hurt George or anything like that, he would just smash them. He would maybe kill them even. And that is also something with the strength, because he has this really huge strength, and he's so strong that he doesn't even know how to control it or how strong he actually is. Example with Crowley. When Crowley is fighting or beating him up, then George gives him permission to hit back, and then he just takes his hand and crushes it, the bones and everything. And right there, you know how strong he is and how dangerous it is. Yeah, that was about it about the characters. Now to the themes. The first theme I connect with this book is loneliness, because many times in the book, the word lonely comes up by the characters in the book. Example on page 13, where George says, "Guys like us that work on ranches are the loneliest guys in the world. They got no money, they don't belong no place." Here George is telling Lenny how their work is mostly for guys who got no one, and that nobody cares about. They move from place to place just to work, just to get some money, and then on one night they can blow all their money on alcohol and women. So here we get the definition of how lonely at this time how lonely people were in the search of job, because many of them were alone and had no one to take care of them or to even care about them. Throughout the book, a lot of the characters is admitting how lonely they are, how much they're suffering because of the loneliness they feel. Example, Candy and Crooks, and also Curly's wife. She also says how lonely she is. Yeah. Then we have dreams, or I chose dreams. Dreams because George and Lenny has this dream about one day owning their own farm. But George knows it's an impossible dream because they don't got the money for it. But then certainly in the book it becomes possible when Candy also wants to be in this dream. He also wants to be a part of this dream. And after that, they get this new hope of a better future, and hope of living happily ever after, being different from the other ranch workers, because all they got to do is work there for a month and then they're gonna leave. But Lenny and George, they know they can be better and have a better life. But the hope with George wasn't really there at the beginning. But after Candy has the money and wants to be with them, wants to be in the dream becomes possible. And there's new hope. That was about it. Thank you for listening.